Test. Testing. Think we're good. Somebody give me a thumbs up or a yes or no. Discord chat. Thanks, newbie. Um, a second here to pull up YouTube chat. Looks like we're going to have a big gap down to open on all the tariff talk. Well, not even talk at this point. It's definitely happening. So, I will be looking for shorts. I mean, there's the possibility that we get some kind of a bounce, but I'm looking bear. That could change. But from what I'm looking at on IG.com, tech is going to open down about 340 points. So I didn't bother. I didn't bother marking up the 4 hour and hourly candles because right now the open looks like it's going to be 21 123 21. So somewhere all the way down here. So the 4 hour and hourly are not going to matter. I mean, the daily really doesn't even matter. Just paying attention to where we were at last week, and my the gambler in me wants to just smash shorts at the open, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to wait and see what happens. But till there's some evidence of buyers, I'll be looking to short the pops. But we'll see. We'll see. We got a new month, new week, but I can't imagine that. The market has made it clear that any type of it doesn't like tariffs, right? It does not want tariffs or trade wars, regardless of whether you think they're good or bad or whatever. The market doesn't like it. So anytime Trump has mentioned tariffs, the market gets shit on. It's that simple. I was looking at crypto over the weekend, was kind of the canary in the coal mine. Crypto was down pretty big, and a lot of times it can be a leading indicator for how futures are going to open. Sorry guys, I'm trying to eat dinner really quick while I'm before we get started here. At least put something in my body. Haven't eaten yet today, but I did sleep until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which was glorious. Last Sunday was, this we had a big, I think it was 180 point gap down and then 1,000 points, 900 points of selling. I don't know if the gap was included, but we were down about 1,000 points. So I figured I would sleep in today in case this becomes one of those nights where there's just huge opportunity and, could potentially make my week or month of February would be pretty great. So might be pulling, an all-nighter kind of thing here. We'll see. We could also get stuck sideways. I mean, the market's going to do what the market does. But they're obviously sellers. Sellers are in control, at least according to what I'm looking at over the weekend. Not sure how reliable and accurate this is, but I imagine it's pretty close to where things are going to be. Like it says down 339 points. Even if we're down 200, or maybe we're down 400, that's a lot of selling pressure. And people have been asking me like, do you think we're gonna get a bounce? Is it, should you long it? And you got to think of what anybody who was long going into the weekend is thinking. If this opens and you're down 300 points right off the jump, I have a hard time believing you're just gonna sit and hold that position. Now, institutions, they have a lot more wiggle room than we do as retail traders. They're okay with several 100 point moves in the market, but my theory at this point is that anybody who is long is going to be looking to get out. It will add additional sell pressure. You know, Again, I could be completely off here. We'll see. We'll find out very soon. We got 3 minutes until the open. I am feeling a little dizzy, so that's why I was trying to eat real quick. Um, so I might just be a little more patient here than I want to be. Because last time I kind of felt lightheaded. I got my I got my ass kicked trying to trade. I couldn't even really like stare at the charts without them without them moving around on me. It was really hard to focus. So that was last time that happened. I updated my trade plan and rules and said no trading if sick, tired, or bored. So if I'm not feeling 100%, I'm going to be less aggressive than I would ordinarily. Might even drop down to like a 15-second, 30-second chart here on the open. Not to take any trades off of, but just to see what's happening zoomed in until we get, the first 10 or 15 minutes after the open. I'll switch back to either 1 minute or 2 minute chart. But I definitely expect volatility. So ball must be nice. What, sleeping in till 4? It's pretty great. I mean, I got up early. My dog woke me up at 8 a.m. I took her out, and then I just went back to bed. And I think my family kind of let her out later in the day. I heard her barking outside. So yeah, it is nice. I don't do it all the time, but on the weekends I like to catch up on my sleep. I recharge for the week in case, and I knew the market was going to be there's going to be a lot of volatility off the open. So if I get to stay up for the next 12 hours trading, I don't want to be tired. Like I was crossing that off my list of, possible scenarios. I'm definitely not going to be tired going into this if I've got to trade for a while. Like last Sunday when the DeepSeek news came out and the market sold off, like yeah, I made money, about $1,800, but that should have been like a four, five, $6,000 trading session because it just continued to sell off. Every bit of corrective activity was just another entry for shorts, and I didn't really trade it. Like I did make my money and kind of walked away. Now I've got a few more funded accounts that I can trade, so a little more flexibility. But I regret not just staying up all night and trading it. Please, Top Step, do not have issues here. I mean, there's 269 points from the open. Spreads are huge. 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, 4 points, 2 points. The order book is thin as hell. Zoom into a 15-second chart here. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to shovel some more food in my face. All right. Uh, Busy. My weekend was fine. I didn't really do anything productive. I just kind of caught up on sleep, played with my dog, try and get some, her to tire out at the end of the day. How cold is it? Busy? I don't know where you're at, but it wasn't that bad here in Jersey. This morning it was chilly, but the days have been sunny and relatively, not there. I mean, it's not Florida weather, so don't get it wrong. But oh, upstate New York, yeah, okay, nice pellet stove humming. I mean, this is really deceptive. This is 50 points right here. The only thing I hate about these big gap downs, they kind of skew the way the candles look. You really got to like stretch the chart out to get a feel. Make sure I'm on the right account here. Even trading a micro or two. When we're talking, every 100 point move is $200 on a micro. So when we are moving like we are here, do not suggest jumping in like a mini. So we're gonna just gonna be patient. Gonna look for a good setup that makes sense. See if sellers keep it up or if we get a reversal. Full port short the open would have printed money. That was my what I posted on Twitter. People actually sent me a message and saying, "Are you full porting short the open?" Like, no, absolutely not. What's up, Jay Bussy? See what a yes looks like. Very similar. See if gold is up. Gold is all over the place. Natural gas, big gap up. NKD down. So YM, RTY, NQ, ES all in the red. RTY is getting beat up the most. It appears. So we're only 8 minutes in. No need to get overly clicky. Just wait, let the dust settle, let the spreads kind of tighten up a little bit here. Let the order book fill up with some orders. Just huge gaps right now. Oh, off the lows from the open, we are up 165 points in 8 minutes. Do not want to get caught on the wrong side of this move. Like there will be plenty of opportunities here, long or short. And we just got to wait for them, right? That's 99% of trading is waiting. If you want to be successful. I mean, you can always click buttons whenever, but to be consistently profitable requires a lot of patience. And if you're feeling itchy, and need to get you like for whatever reason have to get into a trade or you're going to go mental, just trade tiny tiny size. I switched my default here to a single micro. I can always add up to my 3 micro starter or just aggressively hit my hotkey to scale into a position. But I don't want to be on the wrong side and take and be down 100, 200, 300 right off the jump. Did want to short this shooter. Glad I didn't. Be continuation, but just telling myself, chill out, Tom. Be patient. Just wait. Do not want to lose, run out of firepower, DLL, until the real move happens that is a great setup that I can't resist. Right? I don't want to be down 200, 300 or hit DLL and then be sidelined when a great setup shows up and I'm like, well, shit, now I can't trade this because I took 3 or 4 lower quality trade setups because I couldn't be patient. I'm sure some of you have dealt with that. We've talked about it in funded chat. Don't hit DLL before the move happens. Got inside fiver. We are right in the middle of the opening range. So here's the 15, right in the middle, the 30, the 60, the 4 hour. It's the same range. We're in the same spot. 257 point opening range. And a gap down roughly 350 points. So 600 point move from Friday's, not even the close. This is the low. So add a few more points in there, but not enough for me to really care about. 370. What this line is. Let me clean up my charts a bit on TradingView. Do have dip buyers in here. So some longs that bought the low. We'll see if this goes anywhere. Could set up a nice reversal to the upside if we get, 15, 30, 60 hammers with a gap fill overhead. But we'll have to see. Busy says, Tom, I've really been liking Top Step streams. So very great, so very helpful. Granted, yeah, they don't teach the strap, but still, yeah. I mean, it's just different traders' perspectives. They've got a lot of psychology stuff on there. They had a volume profile guy who was like the creator, basically, I guess, father of volume profile. So it is interesting just to get other traders' takes, how they look at the market. I don't trade the way that Deanna trades. She's a volume profile trader, but I listen to her streams. Even if I don't catch them live, she streams at 4:30 a.m. Eastern. It's like an hour and a half after London Open, but I listen to her old streams because it's a lot of answering YouTube questions. People have questions in chat about trading in general, and she's got a ton of, she's knowledgeable. She's been trading for 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 years. I don't remember exactly. I think the last 12 or 14 years futures, but before that traded Forex. And I found a lot of value in those streams, even though we don't trade the same way. She's got solid advice about the struggles as a trader, how to manage risk, how she approaches trading. So we don't have to trade the same way to it's one of those situations where you take what you need and leave the rest. Whatever's helpful, make a mental note. All right, that's a good idea. The other stuff, just disregard. I missed a little 5 minute kind of double inside rev strat. Well, double inside down. Yeah, definitely. If I take a trade, it's going to be tiny. It's going to be small until there's something really that jumps out at me. Yeah, there's just something about that British accent or Australian accent that is very relaxing. So, like this morning when I woke up after I took my dog out, I went back to Deanna's one of her live streams from December that I hadn't heard. I just scroll through and look for her lives. I put it on, listen to what she's got to say, conk out. Now, sometimes I have weird trading dreams, about charts and gold, whatever else. But I do like it. I do find it, kind of relaxing and just puts me in the zone. I kind of wish I took this double inside five down for 56 points so far. See here on the 5 minute inside shooter, triggers down, almost no reversal against you, and we are still kind of going here. But like I said, there's going to be opportunity trading this market. Yeah, Deanna's British. I was just saying in general, like an Australian accent, a British accent. Some meditations that I have some people who have like they've got guided meditations, and anytime it's a British or Australian, it just I don't know works for me. We had a 30-minute flip in just over 10 minutes. 20 minutes into Globex Open. No follow through yet on the double inside five and down. A little bit, but I mean, again, it was 60. It's 60 points. It's really hard to. I might even need to stretch these candles out a little bit more. These 1 minute candles are. This is like New York Open kind of candle ranges. 35 points on a 1 minute candle. ATR is. Let's look at ATR. Way up compared to what we normally see during this time of day. Might start leaving this on my charts as a quick way to identify, how big some of these candles are. When if ATR is down at like five, or means there's not a whole lot of volatility. So this is using ATR length 14. So this is the average range of the last 14 candles. I'm gonna hide it now because it is. Just gonna get rid of it. Oh, I reset chart. I should have. I'm just talking to myself, guys. So we could get a 5 minute back up. Rev strat, we got hammer, counter, shooter. If we take this 15-minute high, maybe buyers get going somewhere. See what they do here. Just triggered. It's probably worth a shot there, but kind of missed it. All right, I'm done eating. Hopefully the dizziness goes away and I can kind of zone in a little bit more here into what's happening. 15-minute inside. We had a 30-minute new open on the 30s in 5.5 minutes. Likely to open inside. In 35 minutes, we get a new hourly candle, likely to open inside. What's up, Poppy T? 112, new week opening gap, and ES. What's PWL? Previous week low? We should not be surprised, after a big move like this, big sell that we kind of chop around and tighten up here, right? Move down, up. You can see higher, low, lower, high. We can tighten up here for a while before things get pick a direction. So you don't want to get chopped up in here. You want to wait for the move either up or down. We just have to see what they want to do with it here. Bobby T says also worth noting location of previous month low. Let's see. It looks like I actually have that marked on my other chart down at 2694. 1NQ. So inside month, just to be aware of inside week. Those aren't enough to keep me from trading. Even an inside day doesn't bother me too much as long as there's some range in it. But one of my rules that I put together was basically here, once the easy money has been made, walk away, right? So the big money was the shorts. We had a big gap down, selling off the open, down 340 points. So shorts got paid. That was the easy money. But now we just gotta wait because we're not gonna get another. It would be unusual, I should say, for us to maybe make a new low a day and then immediately go down another 340 points. Just usually doesn't happen that way. So as much as I want to be in a trade here, I don't really have a clear direction, directional bias, which is fine, right? We don't have to always have a solid read on the market, but that just means don't start clicking buttons. You just got to wait for something to show up, which, we've got hours and hours and hours of time until New York close. Like 22 hours, right? 21 hours. We're only 30 minutes in. We don't need to be, clickety clacking. I always get myself in trouble when I start doing that. Some of my best trades are just setting an alert. The alert fires. I jump in because I know what I'm looking for, right? If the alert triggers, that's where I want to get in at. I just get in the trade and the trade goes and works, right? I don't have to, I'm not confused about what I want to do. Like last week, after ASML earnings, I wasn't expecting a 100-point candle, but I was looking for the highs to get taken out. Had an alert set. It went off. I was on my phone. I'd pull up Top Step. I immediately jumped in and hit my $1,600 profit target in a combine. Speaking of, I'm wondering if I should maybe just trade one of these evaluation accounts. I kind of want to trade real money right now. 15-minute inside bar trying to break bull to 15. Inside hammerish kind of candle, but inside 30. So we just had to flip. Mark this 15 high here, just so I know where we're at on the smaller time frames. I do want to trade this, but I think I'm gonna force myself to wait because we don't have any higher time frame setups at this point. We're right in the middle of the hourly opening range, right in the middle of the 30, right in the middle of the 4 hour. And we'd be fight, any longs would be fighting continuity. So would prefer to see some corrective activity and then maybe we get a rev strat on the 15. Like if this 15-minute closes, if this green candle doesn't really get anywhere and then we break the low, be looking for a short. Time frame continuity is to the downside, so that's the direction I want to be looking. I really don't want to fight against the daily continuity or the 60. It usually doesn't work out very well. Oil up 2%, but pretty, got a big upper wick here. Looks like it's trying to fill this gap, and then maybe it resumes higher. I don't know. I don't know how oil is going to play out. I know the tariffs on oil energy products from Canada is lower than the 25% on all the other items, goods. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out yet. So fill in that gap. Now we'll just wait and see. Bitcoin getting smashed. Gold with some big upper wicks. All the indices just down. So let's see, we got the 15 broke to the upside, but it's not really going anywhere. Like I'm on Team Bear until buyers show up in some meaningful way. Like if we get back over the open up here, where we get so we got the quarter and yearly open right up there. It's the daily and weekly open. So if we get continuity moving back to the upside, then we could say maybe this gap starts to get filled. But until then, things are looking bearish from my perspective. But since overnight is my favorite time to trade, I'm excited that there's some volatility here, at least off the open. Hopefully, we'll get some good setups over the next hour or so. But until there's anything like that jumps out at me, I'm just gonna chill. See if there was even an opportunity to get in on to get the 5 second off the open. He could have squeaked out 200 and some points. If I had remembered that I had some evaluation accounts, I might have done that in a combine where it's less important. Just short it off the open. But if you're wrong, you just get your. It is gambly. I mean, you have a bias and a plan, but it is really risky. But again, on a combine, I don't care nearly as much, right? I don't really want to spend $50 on a reset if I don't have to, but not the end of the world. I don't want to do something like that in a funded account. Would be too depressing. See what the old 2 minute looks like here. Especially don't want to do anything crazy in a funded account because I did not have a good week last week. I started off the week really well on Sunday, and then I ended the week like up $100 across three funded accounts, which is not great. I mean, it could have been worse. This little 2 minute hammer breaking to the upside, re-triggering the 15. but I just prefer shorts. I also like playing bearish. The moves are usually aggressive. It's that stairs up, elevator down kind of thing. Another 15-minute flip in about 6 minutes, 30 plus second, 40 seconds. That I might take a shot at. That might be a first trade that I kind of like. The 15-minute rev strat down. This candle doesn't really get going anywhere, and we break the low. I think that's worth a shot. It's in the direction of the day, the 12 hour, the 4 hour. Potential new low a day and more selling. We'll see. Not a whole lot happening here. Kind of chopping around sideways. I mean, this is a big range, but it's 100 points, but we're just kind of stuck. Anyone brave enough who actually shorted the open and made some money and called it quits already? Packed it in, got your 100, 200 points, and said, "All right, I'm done." It was really spready at open. The order book was just had huge gaps. Not really my style. I don't want to build bad habits doing things like that. I want to stay in the mindset of just patiently wait for A plus setups. And when they show up, then get aggressive. Not just let's try this, see if it works, kind of a thing. I mean that's okay with a small starter position if there's got a there's still a setup there. You know, like the 15 down the rev strat. That's one that you know I'm like okay that could work. It's worth a shot. Small risk could end up being a nice trade. If we get new low a day, good for over 100 points. 15-minute flip in 3 minutes. Got a shooter setting up. Rev strat shooter going red. I like it. Rather have this go a little sideways here. I don't want this to start going now. Just wait 2 minutes, please. One second, guys. I'll be right back before the flip. 'Alrighty. What's happened? Not a whole lot, huh? 45 seconds. Gonna mark the low of the current 15 if it stays below, which we'll see. We got 30 seconds. So I'll break that. I'm going to take a shot at a short, see what happens. It's the flip. Buyer's not giving up yet. Nope. Wow. Impressive. Looking like one of those 4 bar plays that I mentioned, where we get a strat set up, it triggers, doesn't go anywhere, and then the next candle print, we get some follow through. But again, I'm not really interested in a long here. Maybe on the hourly or the 30-minute, 60-minute flip when we get it in 13 and a half minutes. Potentially take a long. Try not to get too attached to any one direction, right? Things are still very fluid. Not even an hour into trading, so for you volume traders, the 30-minute or the first hourly opening range is called the initial balance. That's why a lot of people wait for the first, 30, 60 minutes before jumping into anything. Gives the market a chance to kind of figure out, set the high and low. Then they often are trading around that, right? Like if you break one side of it and start coming back through, you target the other side. Or if you're going to end up with a trend day, you break one side of initial balance and you continue in that direction. And as long as you stay above it, then, you're looking for longs. If you stay below it, you're looking for shorts. Like this is crazy to me on this chart here. That's a 37 point move. This little That's why I gotta really stretch these charts out because it's deceptive as hell. Especially if you're trying to manage risk, right? I mean, 40 points on one micro is 80 bucks. Every 10 points is $20. So, like start that's why I just have one micro selected because I don't want to be on the wrong side of a 40 point 1 minute candle or 2 minute candle. I like the short even more now. We got a 5 minute flip with a shooter. Oh, we'll see what happens. Should be an interesting overnight slash New York session, that's for sure. Watch it be like just super boring and sideways. I hope not. Tilt on top step, we got 63, 64% longs, average price of 092, so underwater. Let's make sure those numbers are right. They should be. I saw them just update. Yeah. A lot of oil bulls, 73% long. Sometimes this is a good counter trend indicator. If you've got like 90% long, 85% long, I start looking for shorts because, the fact is 80, 90% of traders aren't really successful. So this is all sim traders. And sometimes it's a good heads up. You get too many people on one side of the boat is likely to tip over. Get a new hourly candle in 7 minutes, 40 seconds. Probably going to open inside hour, which I would typically avoid. But if we do get the 30-minute inside bar, whoops, we get the 30-minute inside bar breaking bear with this kind of compound rev strat setup short. That's what I'm most interested in right now. Trying not to get too attached to my short bias, but that's just the direction that I like based on the way the charts look currently. But we are right in the middle. You know, just we could end up with some hammer candles on the 60 and the 4 hour. So trying to stay open minded. Just trade what I see, not what I think. Just nothing I like right this second. Is it Cardian? I forget. We had this discussion before, right? Cardian. Is that how I pronounce it? We were talking about Deanna on Top Step TV. She does the London session. If you go on Top Step TV, she live streams 4:30 a.m. Eastern. It's I think an hour and a half after London Open. So yeah, London opens at 3 a.m. Eastern. So she doesn't. She waits for the initial balance range to form, which is the first hour of trading, and then she starts to look for setups. But we were talking about how even if you don't trade the same strategy or style as somebody else, that there's value in listening to how other experienced traders trade and what they're looking at and how they manage emotions and some of the other things in there. And I was just saying it's, I like listening to her because she's got good solid trading advice. Even though I don't trade volume profile, I like what she has to say about, keeping an X, not like holding on to an XFA for a longer period of time is really the goal, not necessarily just how much are you making, because a lot of people blow up their funded accounts in the first week. So if you haven't heard her, I recommend you can even go back. I was saying that I listened to uh her live streams, even though what she's talking about as far as like the current trade she might be looking at or whatever is has already happened. I don't really care about that. I just care about everything else. And so it's one of those situations where you find value in some of it and then the rest of it you just disregard or don't, isn't part of your style or strategy. Busy was saying how he was enjoying listening to Top Step TV. Say my name anyway I want. Well, I want to get it right. I'm a perfectionist over here. It's not Cardi Lion, right? Like the animal, or is it Cardi Lion? Cardi Lion, Cardi Lion. I'll just call you Car. How about that? What's up, Car? Yeah, let's keep it short. RDB. So buyers are trying here. They're just not really getting anywhere. Do have an inside five that broke bull. So we look on the 5 minute here. We got this inside bar breaking bull about about halfway through this candle. So maybe they get up to this target, but I don't know, man. I want to see more blood, more selling, panic in the streets. Hourly flip in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I almost never. Hyson says you don't trade ES. I really don't. It's just too slow for me. I will. I am going to explore it at some point. I've been trading NQ for 5 months. I've got a pretty good feel for how NQ moves. I know like the risk that I'm willing to take. ES just I don't have any practice with ES, and like I know like 5 points on ES is 5 or 10 points would be a lot, and NQ that's just like not even a move. So it would be it would take me some time to transition or get familiar with ES. I do hear it's good to trade though. It respects levels, and you get it's not as wiki, but just not my focus. I keep an eye on the chart. Like I'll pull the chart up to see how ES is moving compared to NQ or RTY and YM. But I don't really. I've traded RTY and YM when I first started with futures a little bit, but NQ has just been my go-to. Double inside on the 1 minute. Newbies pointing out. Potential 5 minute rev strat setting up here. So here's the fiver. That's a horrible view. You can see inside bar, two up shooter, trying to go red. There, breaks down. So there's the flip. New hourly 30, 15 candles. Really kind of want to short. If we get back up near the 5 and it re-triggers, I'm going to see if I can get an early entry for the 15 and 30. But just super tiny size. Because we could get this 30-minute inside bar breaking bull. But again, I much prefer shorts. Maybe I'll wait for the 15. A little late on this, but see if the Bears get going. I would add on the 15 and the 30. But yeah, my entry should have been where my stop is at 114. And then I'd kind of be chilling right now. Well, I'm going to take a little stab at it. It's only 1 micro. I'll start adding a bit more aggressively, like if the higher time frames start playing out. But it's an inside 60, which I don't like. Probably should not have taken the trade because it kind of breaks my rules. There's we're gonna we're gonna be stuck inside unless we get a pretty significant move down. So we need to move 100, and I think I'm gonna close this. I'll give it a sec. little bit of FOMO entry on that. So we are inside 15, 30, 60. So not usually where you want to be entering a trade. If I entered on the 5, but I would have had a stop up near these highs above the 5 minute shooter. Tiny, small red. I'm not sweating it at all in any way. See if the 30 breaks, the 30 inside bar breaks to the upside. That's what they're trying to do currently. I don't like that I have to keep adjusting my charts so much here. It's the only thing I don't like about having a big wide range opening candle. Just makes the charts weird. I go outside fiver. Just missed. Mark the 30 high here. That'll be the inside bar break up, but we'll be trading against continuity. Let me see if we've taken out like any important levels below for like an exhaustion reversal. We really haven't. Close to breaking this 30 up. Trying. There it is, triggered. See if this gets going anywhere. I think the 4 hour flip should be really interesting when that happens in about 2 hours and 50 minutes. Especially if we get this candle flipping green. Need a hammer here. Potential hammer. The gap overhead. You can see same thing on this. We get the 60 hammer here, but stuck inside. Might just hop off, set my alerts on the high of the 60, which would be the daily, weekly, monthly open. Wait for, better trade opportunity. So we've got conflicted time. We've got short term, the 5, 15, 30 green, 62, but 60 inside, red 4 hour, 12 hour day and week. So hard to want to go long here. we're getting some moves up, and I mean they are, like this candle was good for 53 points, but you can see it just couldn't keep up the momentum. Sold off, tried again, sold off, trying again, break the inside 30. Sellers are not going away. Yeah, what I really wanted to see was like this back here, like this big down candle up and then just like keep rolling over. Or even like this would be okay and then new low. Not really this. It's just not great like trading. So it kind of sucks. I was like super excited for this open, but there just haven't been very many opportunities. Not like there were last Sunday when we had a big gap down and then the market just continued to sell. Like every little pop you could just short and then it was down another 30, 40, 50 points pretty quickly. So like I said, I think I'm gonna just set the alerts for like the high of like the hour 4 hour candle. Kind of keep an eye on it. I don't get away from charts for too long. At least I'll pull them up on my phone every whatever 20, 30 minutes just to see what's going on. But mostly sideways here. I'll be most interested in checking back in about 40 minutes, 45 minutes when we get a new hourly candle. We've got an inside hour here that we're kind of stuck inside of. And then I'm curious to see which direction this breaks. We get the inside up to flip daily weekly continuity, or if we break this low, back down towards low a day. Yeah, not really that interested in anything at the moment, so I'm gonna hop off. Hopefully we get something here in the new 60 or definitely the new 4 hour. Would be sad if it just is stuck sideways, but we can only take what the market gives. So we'll see if we can, flip thing continuity back to the upside, or if we get another push down. We are inside weak, big gap down on the day, and I'm sure there are a lot of traders watching, looking for this gap fill to potentially get this gap to get filled. But we're still, 53 points away from the open. I don't know. Just I'm not. There's nothing there that I'm not super interested in. Tried a little short, didn't work. Just gonna wait. So if you guys are trading, be careful. Use stops. Headline news is a risk these days. Trump has a tendency to want to post on Twitter or Truth Social whenever the mood strikes, or do these, press conferences, and you got to have stops in place. I saw somebody on Twitter the other day posted that they realized they needed to have stops trading the Trump market, and I told them, come on, Tor, you know better than that. We always need to have stops. You can't just be in a position without a stop. I don't know why you would do that. But especially now when you've got risk of algos gobbling up whatever gets posted on social media or doing sentiment analysis on his press conferences, there's going to be volatility. You got to trade smaller size, manage risk. I mean, that's the name of the game here. The goal is to not lose money. And then we try and make money along the way. So, okay, taking us, starting off small red, I just don't, there's nothing here that's too exciting for me to want to try and like get aggressive on. So we'll let the market settle a little bit, see what happens, and then wait for a better opportunity. So I'm going to hop off, guys. Have a good night. I will see you all later.